A lot of pressure on employers to make sure their workplaces and work practices are safe. We were hearing from Andy there. Kate Walker is the founder of Rhino Safety, a health and safety consultancy which advises hundreds of businesses. Good morning, Kate. I'm sure people will be listening intently to your advice this morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you.
So you've got hundreds of clients, as I say. You've
We
been
have.
working with them over this last few weeks. You've had a look at these guidelines. What are you saying to clients?
Well, it's a very interesting situation for us, and I would echo a lot of what Andy said previously. A lot of the concerns from our clients have been around the fact that the announcement was made on Sunday. We had a lot of clients who, like he said, assumed that that meant that they could return to work on Monday. But without that clear guidance and advice about what employees should actually be doing to make their workplaces safe, it was an almost impossible task, really. And I think for a lot of our clients, they would have appreciated a bit more breathing space, a bit more time to digest the guidance, put things into place, and kind of stagger the way that they actually return their workforce to the business. Because as much as lots and lots of businesses are obviously very eager to get back to work because of the financial pressures that they're facing. At the same time, the risk of litigation at the end of all of this is very, very real and very severe. So employers are quite rightly very cautious about what it is that they're actually doing to bring their employees back into the workplace safely.
So, have you come across specific problems that would be useful for our listeners to hear about this morning?
Well, it very much depends on the industry. We work with clients, like you said, nationwide across every industry, right through from office and retail to construction, manufacturing, and engineering. So there are a variety of issues that different industries are facing. But I think in terms of a kind of a universal problem, is the fact that in the latest guidance that was actually published last night, I was kind of speed reading last night in preparation. There's a lot of talk about the fact that social distancing measures should be put into place where possible, but then also refers to the fact that if they are not possible, other measures may be used. Now, for me, there is a serious level of ambiguity there, which could really put employers in a difficult position, because it's also very clear that employees may refuse to return to work if they feel their workplace is not safe, but there is no definitive line drawn in the sand to say what is safe and what is not.
We've had a message in this morning saying, how can an employee prove that he or she caught COVID-19 at the workplace? Because you could have caught it absolutely anywhere, but clearly this is a concern for a lot of people.
It is, yes, because there was guidance brought out in the last few weeks from the HSE saying that COVID-19 may be a RIDDOR reportable disease. And what that essentially means is that it is a disease that may be required by employers to report it to the HSE if an employee has contracted it in the workplace. So that obviously leads on to all sorts of risks for the employer. There could be a HSE investigation, there could be prosecutions, and there could be obviously personal injury claim litigation as a result of that. However, what I would say is that that particular guidance from the HSE is very clear and as robust as I think they can possibly make it in the circumstances. It makes it very clear that they understand it would be extremely difficult for an employee to prove that they contracted COVID-19 in the workplace. They make it clear that there has to be a formal medical diagnosis. And obviously, as we're aware, testing isn't quite there yet. So that in itself may be problematic. But it also, there needs to be reasonable evidence that it was contracted in the workplace and nowhere else. So the industries where this is most important in terms of being RIDDOR reportable is the healthcare industries, because those are the workplaces where it is more likely to be reasonably evident that it was contracted at work as opposed to in the home or in the sort of general public population.
Hope that helps. Ivan in London, keep your messages coming in, 85058, or use the hashtag #WakeUpToMoney. Kate, before I let you go, if you are a small employer, maybe a couple of staff, and you haven't had to put a health and safety policy in place before to this extent, how would you go about starting now?
Well, again, one of the sort of very grey areas within the guidance that was published last night is the fact that it talks about risk assessments, and it also talks about liaising with employees to create risk assessments. From a health and safety perspective, that's very problematic because the health and safety legislation makes it very clear that people who write risk assessments should be competent to do so. Now, there is no universal measure of competency, but we have always gone down the route of advising our clients that to be competent to write a risk assessment, you should have some sort of formal training, qualification, or extensive experience to do so. So our advice to all businesses, regardless of their size, is that they should be taking advice from wherever they normally take their business advice from. They may have an outsourced health and safety management company like ourselves. They may be members of their local chamber of commerce. All those sorts of organisations should be helping in this situation. Please, whatever employers do, do not just blindly write risk assessments because there is a very good chance that you will miss out some really key aspects of this guidance. We've actually produced a COVID-19 safety pack for all of our clients, which we have been working on through the draft guidance over the last week and obviously looked at last night with the official published guidance. And we're rolling that out to all of our clients today so that they can start to put things into place and get their workplaces up and running as soon as possible.
Thanks, Kate. Kate Walker, Rhino Safety.